What's up, YouTubers? What's going on, folks? It is your boy, the Supreme B-Man, and I'm here today to do something just a little bit different than I normally do. I'm here to talk about some movies, and mainly a particular genre of movies. There was one point in time where I was talking about, the Marvel films and DC films. Well, obviously, from the title of the video, I'm going to be talking about some Marvel films. I'm going to be talking about some superhero movies that I'm looking forward to right now as of 2018. I'm gearing up for. I'm so excited about, and I'm probably going to go see and sit down at a theater seat and watch these and go ooh and ah about, and hopefully get into a big discussion here and there amongst the community of comic book nerds out there that love these characters just as much as I do. And hopefully these movies are a success. But considering that these are Marvel movies and not necessarily DC, not trying to poke fun or anything, but hopefully DC can get their stuff together, and hopefully they can get back in the race with Marvel with as of the cinematic universe. We all know that currently right now DC dominates in animation. Let's just admit it. I mean, Marvel does try, but they don't try as hard as, say, DC when it comes to their animated stuff. And as for the TV lineup, I'm thinking right now at the moment in time, DC still got Marvel just a little bit, just a shy. Considering that the fact that we get most of those shows on a daily basis, rather say, every 3 months or so, when they finally drop a Netflix special or whatever. But I'm not here to compare. I'm not here to debate about DC and Marvel or Marvel and DC. I'm here to talk about my top 5 Marvel movies that I'm looking forward to in 2018. So let's get started, folks. Here we go. First up at number 5 is going to be AntMan and the Wasp. Now, I was a huge fan of Paul Rudd and his, adaptation of the Ant-Man and all of the crazy CG stuff, as of like the ants and stuff like that, and the Ant-Man suit was really cool looking. And now we're finally going to get Wasp added onto the ranks of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and hopefully, with that being said, we'll probably see her in later other Marvel related movies, not just Ant-Man alone. So I hope that this movie is going to be at least fun and exciting. But the thing about it is, from what I looked at, it's coming in a later date. So it's not coming up ahead as, say, some of the much more earlier Marvel movies. So I don't know where some of these movies are going to fit in that come in a little bit later. But hopefully, it'll make sense. And hopefully Ant-Man and the Wasp is actually just a tad bit better than the first Ant-Man. I think the first Ant-Man was fun. It had comedy. It was, there was jokes being thrown all over the place, and there was a lot of nice spectacle type stuff, especially when Ant-Man went into the much more smaller universe in one of the scenes of the movie. But hopefully we'll start seeing more of Giant Man, which was mostly featured during Captain America Civil War. So hopefully we'll see maybe a giant Ant-Man or maybe a giant Wasp. Who knows? It's just a matter of time. Next at number 4 is going to be Spider-Man Into the Spiderverse. Now, obviously, if you are a subscriber and a viewer of my channel, you know that I am a huge Spider-Man fan. I have played Ultimate Spider-Man for the Xbox and PS2, and I have played the original PS1 Spider-Man video game that is roughly based off the animated 90s animated series. And so, with that being said, of course I'm going to go see Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. It is probably one of the first big animated Marvel movies that's actually not going straight to DVD. It looks great. At first it looked very realistic, so I thought at first it was going to be a live action, but there was a lot of shots that was done, and looking at it closely, I automatically knew it was going to be animated. Unfortunately, way, I'm kind of saddened by that a little bit, because we could have had a live action Miles Morales, which is the star of this movie, which I honestly think should have happened anyway, because I think, eventually at some point they're going to have to, go into that storyline with the other Spider-Men, such as Miles Morales, or let's just say maybe 2099 or Scarlet Spider, Spider-Gwen. There's a lot of different Spider-Men out there in the comic book Marvel universe, and hopefully this is just the start of it. But as for this movie in particular, it's going to pretty much tell the story of Miles Morales. For some of you guys out there, hopefully you're not going to get spoiled, but just to throw it out there, spoiler alert if you never read the comic books. But this story is about Miles Morales, who miraculously, accidentally, somehow gets bitten by a radioactive spider, very similar to Peter Parker. The storyline was wrapped around the Amazing Spider-Man storyline, and at that point in time, once again, spoiler alert if you're not ready for it, but Peter Parker was supposedly to be dead. And so, if you look at the trailers and you dissect it a little bit, you can clearly tell that Peter Parker's not dead. He's fully alive and running around and stuff like that, just like Miles is. So, I don't know where the timeline for this story is. I don't even know if it's really going to fit into the MCU. Or anything, or if this is just a side project for Marvel to see if they can pull this type of stuff off. And if it's a success, then hopefully down the road we might get more animated type of movies featuring other superheroes that they may not want to spend money and time trying to find actors for. You know what I'm saying? We all like to speculate and like to throw out actors that may be able to portray certain superheroes, but sometimes it's best off to go into maybe doing something different. And I like it, and considering I'm also an illustrator and an artist myself, I really highly appreciate that Marvel's taking the leap into the animated world, which is something that they desperately need. I lied the conversation I had at the beginning of the video about DC being a dominator in the cinematic universe, animated cinematic universe. You know what I'm saying? So hopefully this is just a start, and hopefully we'll start seeing a lot more like this, and hopefully this is going to be a movie that's top shelf quality. You know what I mean? No, at number 3, I kind of stuttered a little bit because I looked at what it was. It is going to be none other than the Merc with the Mouth himself, Deadpool. Ryan Reynolds kills it every single time I see this guy in the Deadpool suit. He is without a doubt Deadpool. He is Wade Wilson. He is that Merc with a mouth that will pop you with a bullet just for looking at him weird. You know what I'm saying? He is the type of character that has been, I wish that they had done Deadpool right the first time a long time ago during the whole X-Men run, but of course they screwed it up, and obviously they got a second chance at doing an actual solo Deadpool movie after the fans had wanted it, but luckily Marvel stepped in and said no, if you're gonna do this, you're gonna do it right. So we're gonna step in and tell you guys how to write a Deadpool story. We're going to get Ryan Reynolds, who pretty much is a huge Deadpool fan. I wouldn't be surprised if that guy has like a Deadpool cave in his house somewhere with all the Deadpool memorabilia and probably an actual suit. I mean, of course he has an actual suit at home. I mean, why not? I mean, if I was him, I would have a Deadpool suit too, just in case, you know what I'm saying? But this is going to be a wild ride. I don't know what the story is. I don't know what's going on. Hopefully it dives more into, more story-driven type stuff for Deadpool, but of course still keeping it in the, funny comedic tone that it has. And hopefully, we'll start seeing more cooler stuff, and hopefully we'll start seeing, him making references to the merger of Disney and Fox, and hopefully he'll be like, well, it looks like my contract's up. Guess I'm off to go to this movie now. I'm not ready for that movie yet. You know what I mean? Like, he's gonna start talking about Captain America, talking about Iron Man, talking about Thanos. He might talk about Lady Death, who he ends up eventually in the comic books having a actual relationship with. And Thanos, if you guys don't know, is actually trying to impress Lady Death in some type of way, because he's infatuated with her and she's not so much of him, so he's doing everything he can to impress her. And Wade Wilson doesn't even have to do anything to impress Lady Death, but I doubt that they're going to dive into that storyline anytime soon right now, maybe in Deadpool 3. So they might stick with what they got at the moment in time. So I can't wait for this movie. If you haven't seen the Bob Ross teaser trailer or any of the teasers for Deadpool 2, then I urge you to go out there and go look. As a matter of fact, I will put some trailers in the description below. So all the trailers for all the movies that I'm talking about is in the description below. You watch them and you let me know how you think, what you think about them. But anyways, let's move on to the next movie. Now at number 2. Now this one, number 2, is a movie that has so much riding on it, because this is not just an ordinary, this is not like Deadpool, this is not like Spiderman, this is not like Ant-Man or any other Marvel movie. You know, this is a movie that speaks a lot to a certain demographic, a certain community out there. And you know, this is a movie that I have been waiting to see, and I'm glad it was a long wait, because if we had gotten this sometime earlier, it probably would not be as good as it is now. It is obviously Black Panther. I can't wait to see what Wakanda is like. I can't wait to see how they're able to portray a lot of the characters, the culture, and you know, and just from the teasers themselves, there's so much color and so much enrichedness that's coming from the movie. It makes me want to like grab my things, pack everything up, and find Wakanda. You know what I'm saying? That's just how cool it is. And you know, Chadwick Boseman as Black Panther, he pulls that off so well. I like how Michael B. Jordan is in this movie, because he just came off Fan Four Stick, and now he's in this movie and he's playing as the villain, as Golden Cheetah or something like that, I think. If I'm wrong about that, please correct me by all means. But I'm glad to see that this movie is being made. It's no more than a month away. Like next month, I think February 20 something, it comes out. And you know, man, the trailers were beautiful. They were well shot, and there was a lot of hip hop and a lot of African music and a lot of African culture that's going off in the movie. A lot of really cool stunts and a lot of stuff in this movie, and I really hope that this is a 10 out of 10 solid movie. Please, anybody and everybody who is a Marvel or comic book fan, who loves Black Panther, who knows Black Panther, who is interested in Black Panther, interested in the culture, interested in the character, the hero himself, and why he's such a big deal, please go out there and support this movie. This movie needs your support. And plus, considering the fact this movie kind of intertwines with another movie, that's right, it is my number 1. Now, for number 1, at one point in time, there was an idea to bring together a group of remarkable people so they could become something more. And when they needed us, we could fight the battles that they never could. Oh my God. Oh my God. I just gave myself chills saying that, man. I got chills. That's why I kind of messed up at the last minute, but I got chills just saying those words, uttering the exact words that Nick Fury told Tony Stark, that told the Avengers in the first Avengers movie, 18 movies, baby. 18 movies. That's insane, dude. Marvel, pat yourself on the back, man. The amount of work and the amount of time. Now, sure, not all the Marvel movies were great, okay? And a lot of them got criticized, and a lot of them went up and down. Some were better than others. Some exceeded better than others. But I tell you what, it has been a long and an enjoyable ride. Marvel's Avengers Infinity War, it is coming, and it's coming in May. And all of you, like I said, go see Black Panther, because Black Panther, in the trailer, Black Panther is a huge deal. He's pretty much the one that is hiding Captain America, Winter Soldier, Scarlet Witch. I'm not sure for Scarlet Witch, because in the trailer it kind of shows Scarlet Witch with Vision, but I'm pretty sure Ant-Man's hiding in Wakanda, maybe not, and it all depends where, the Ant-Man and Wasp movie goes. But we'll just have to wait and see. Hopefully Marvel doesn't spoil everything. I know there's probably going to be more trailers that are probably a little bit more story driven. It's going to probably show off Thanos, who is the big bad, like, Thanos, he is a beast. He's a beast. Like, man, dude, bro, man, I'm excited to see Thanos. Like, finally, he looks great. He looks fantastic. Some people kind of criticize on the look of Thanos in the trailer, and some people like it, some people joke about it. I like some of the jokes though, because he does kind of look like Stone Cold Steve Austin coming in, getting ready to stunner just about all of the Avengers. It looks great. It's funny too, you know what I mean? But it has been a long ride. Like, let me tell you something. Let me just say this. I don't want to be controversial. I don't want to try to be comic book political or anything like that. But let me tell you something. DC Comics. Let me tell you. Let me just say this. I understand that your fan base is defending you as much as possible. I understand that they try to say, well, DC doesn't have to follow Marvel. They can be different. They can do their own thing. They don't have to do that. Well, there's a certain formula, a certain path that you have to take in order to get your point across, to get your films across a certain group of people. And I understand there are some people that have never heard of your superheroes, never heard of Batman or Superman or Wonder Woman. Surprisingly, there are some people, you know what I mean, that don't really, that's lived under a rock, that's never heard of any of these characters. Maybe they've heard of them as in people talking about them, but they've never seen them or never seen them in action. You know what I'm saying? Or maybe they saw kids playing toys of them. But I'm telling you, Marvel did it right with 18 total movies. Like, honestly, I didn't know everything about Thor. I didn't know everything about Tony Stark. I didn't know everything. Like, I only know certain things about Captain America. I knew all there was about Hulk a little bit to a degree. I mean, I watched the cartoons. I watched some animated movies here and there that kind of filled in the gaps for some of these characters. But let me tell you something. The movies gave me a whole nother perspective of these characters. And the actors that portrayed every single one of these characters did a absolute fantastic job. And I'm just going to say it right here and right now. Once again, it has been a wild and enjoyable ride. And that's exactly what you guys need to do, DC. You need to do that. Make it fun. Make it enjoyable. You can do it in whatever type of style you want to, but don't blow your load way too soon. Don't do that. Don't mess up. Don't try to give us everything all at one time. I understand you don't want to play the Marvel route. You don't want to do 18 movies, but yet you want to create your own, your own universe. Well, you're going to have to do possibly 18 movies in order for yourself to get where Marvel's at. You know what I'm saying? Not necessarily saying that you need to, but I'm saying if that's your idea and if that's your goal, then you're going to have to do it a certain way. You got to do it the right way. But I'm just going to leave it at that. Avengers Infinity War for #1 on my top 5 list of Marvel movies that I'm going to see this year. That's pretty much it, guys. I don't really have too much else to say. Please post your comments in the bottom below there. Let me know which Marvel movies you're going to see, and it doesn't even have to be Marvel movies. It can be any movie. I mean, there's a lot of other movies that I'm looking forward to. I mean, I'm looking forward to Pacific Rim. I'm looking forward to some animated movies, other animated movies here and there. I'm begging and hoping that DC can pull out something this year. So, in the comments below, just let me know what movies you guys are going to see. Are you going to go see any of the movies that I have on my list? Are you interested in any of these movies on my list? And once again, like I said, the trailers are going to be in the description box below. Just click on them, check them out, and then come back to this video, leave me a comment, and we'll get a conversation started. And if you don't mind, why don't you just, charging star that subscribe button. And if you don't mind, uppercut that like button. And as always, guys, it is your boy, the Supreme B-Man, and I will see you guys next time. Peace.